Okay, so I'm doing this very late again. It's been a really crazy month for me, but I at least wanted to get out a video talking about the Barnes & Noble November Criterion sale. So for anyone unaware, I guess I'll just read the case to explain what Criterion is, because I think it'll do a better job of that than me. So the Criterion Collection is dedicated to gathering the greatest films from around the world, publishing them in editions of the highest technical quality, with supplemental features that enhance the appreciation of the art of film. So that's what Criterion is. Every November and I think every June or July, can't quite remember the other month, Barnes & Noble does a 50% off Criterion sale. So that is what we are talking about today. Since I am doing this so late and the sale's almost over, I guess I'm just going to start by talking about what I've picked up and then what I still kind of plan on picking up, and then we'll go from there. So first is the 4K for the 1954 Godzilla film. I was really excited about that one. We've got the 4K for the Virgin Suicides. We've got the 4K for Wings of Desire. Wanted to check out some more Wim Wenders films. We've got Double Indemnity. Since people kind of label November and November, figured I would check out this since it kind of fits the theme. The others saw this and thought it was seemed kind of interesting, and I've heard good things about it. Still kind of wanting to check out some horror movies after October, so I picked this up. This one's really random, but I wanted to check out some more Goddard films. I kind of thought it was interesting that this one's only on DVD, so I was like, oh, I'll grab that, which is two or three things I know about her, so. And then we've got, last but not least, the Janus Contemporary Blu-ray for About Dry Grasses. I really like this movie. It won't really be for everybody. It's like about a 3.5-hour Turkish film. It's very politically oriented, but in a little bit more of an abstract way. So like I said, it's not going to be for everybody, but I really like this film. I said last but not least, but I forgot about these sitting over here. So we've got the 4K for Seven Samurai, one of the greatest films ever, to the point that I think I'm also going to pick up the BFI 4K. And then something that I've been wanting to pick up for a long time, so I'm kind of excited that I finally grabbed it, which is the 4K box set for the Three Colors trilogy. So, excited to check those out. And I guess I will just talk about some recommendations to close this video out. Some of these I've talked about before, and some of them even on the previous video I did for the last Barnes & Noble Criterion sale. But they're all amazing films. I don't think you can talk about any of them enough, so talk about them again. Who cares? First, we've got Drive My Car. Absolutely amazing film. If I was making a list of like 10 films that I think everybody should check out, I would probably put this on there. I mean, that being said, it's not going to be for everybody because it is a longer film. It's about 3 hours. It is a Japanese film, but hopefully if you're looking at a video about Criterion, you are someone who will watch foreign films, I would hope. But yeah, so for anybody that can handle those two things, this is definitely a film you should check out. We've got the double pack release that came out last month for The Seventh Victim and I Walked with the Zombie. Again, I Walk with the Zombie, after watching this, is probably in like my top 20 films somewhere. Just a really interesting take on a zombie film. A very, darn, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, blanking on it. But anyways, atmospheric. It's a very atmospheric film. So yeah, I really like that movie. The Seventh Victim is good as well. I kind of get what it's going for, but it wasn't fully like clicking with me when I watched it. I think I need to give it a rewatch at some point. I think I just wasn't really in the right mood for it. But I can tell even with that it is a good film as well. So I do recommend picking that up. Picnic at Hanging Rock. This is another one of my favorite films as well. I'm not really sure I will put this in a list of films everybody should check out because this is a very slow film, so I think some people this is just not going to resonate with in any way. But again, for people that can handle that and are looking for like an interesting sort of psychological mystery film, if you can put it in that category. I don't really know if I would or not. But yeah, it's a really interesting movie. Very important movie in the history of Australian cinema, and I would check it out. We've got Carnival of Souls. I absolutely love this movie. Again, like I Walk with the Zombie, it's a very atmospheric film. I really like just how crazy the like contrast of grays and whites and black is in this. I feel like I remember reading that it was actually ended up that way because of some budget limitations in the way it was shot, which is kind of funny because I feel like it honestly improves the film in some ways. It's just another really unique and interesting horror movie for when it came out, and it's definitely one of my favorite like psychological horrors ever. So definitely worth checking out. Oh, I just realized these next three movies I got are all French films, so that's interesting. I do really like French cinema though. So we've got La Haine. This is another movie that is not really a movie where you're gonna feel like you're always clicking with what's going on. It's, can be pretty slow at times, but again, people that can handle the slower film, which I feel like I hope is most of you, again, if you're watching a video about criterions. Definitely another one of those films that I feel like everybody should check out. It is a film where it's definitely like the ending that really brings the film together. So again, you may sit and watch this and feel like you're not really vibing with it through a good majority of it. But I feel like the ending, this is one of those films where it really recontextualizes what you experienced in the film up to that point. So, great film. You should check it out. Next, we've got Portrait of a Lady on Fire. This is a really amazing film as well. It's one of the most gorgeous films I've seen. It's very sad, like somber film. Yeah, I don't know. You should definitely check this one out. And then we've got The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. So, grown to really like musicals recently. This one's really interesting in particular because it's one of the few musicals where instead of having like actual songs, every single line of dialogue is just sung. So that's really interesting. I have come to learn that Jacques Demy, the director of this film, has a couple other films like this. For a little while, as far as I knew, this was the only musical that's done that way. I'm starting to feel like there probably are a lot more, but this is the only one I ever really hear people talk about. So it is an interesting film. If you haven't experienced a musical like that, it can be kind of jarring at first, but I feel like you sit through like the first 10 minutes, you kind of get used to it, and then from that point, it's just a kind of fun film and a kind of fun experience. Now, it is another sad film as far as the ending, but and I don't know if that would be a spoiler or not, but what can you do? But yeah, I really love that film. As far as things I'm still planning on picking up, I just realized I kind of skipped that segment. I do kind of want the Jacques Demy box set, since that kind of relates to this, so I might grab that. This is the only Jacques Demy film I have separately, and I think it might be the only one that exists separately in the Criterion Collection. I don't know. Don't want to say that for sure, but as far as I know, I think it is, so I'll probably just go ahead and grab that box set. I know I want the 4K for Happiness still, which I haven't picked up. The 4K for Funny Girl. And I'll probably go ahead and pre-order the 4K for Paris, Texas, since that comes out December 3rd. So those are the things I kind of still plan on picking up. So yeah, actually, I see I'm all over the place today now that I'm finally sitting and trying to record this, because I had a couple of others over here I didn't talk about. Which another release from last month, Pandora's Box. This is a really interesting film worth checking out. It is a silent film. So again, with the caveat that you are somebody that can sit down and watch a silent film, because that's, again, I don't feel like that's everybody. But yeah, this is a really interesting film worth checking out. there's a couple like this in the Criterion Collection, and I know a lot of other labels put out films like this where it does have like this interesting thing when it starts talking about how there's no real complete print out there at this point. So they basically had to take prints from different countries and sort of figure out how they could mesh them together, like what was and wasn't in each print, to figure out how to put them together to make what they believe to be the most complete print possible at this point. In the case of this film in particular, it does say that they believe that even what they could make by doing that is still not necessarily a complete version of the film, but there's no way to know at this point. So again, I just find those kinds of things interesting. But yeah, and then these next two kind of go hand in hand, but I feel like you should pick up any box sets that you're kind of interested in. Something like the Showa era Godzilla box set would be good. Something like this, which is my favorite Criterion box set, the World of Wong Kar-wai, would be a really good pickup. And in the case of me, I like Wong Kar-wai in this film so much that I have that box set, which is Blu-rays. Don't believe there's a 4K version of this box set, but you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I look again and they made one, because I didn't even realize they did a 4K version of the Three Colors trilogy until not too long ago. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's box sets of Blu-rays, and then there actually is a standalone 4K for In the Mood for Love, so I have that as well. Again, I'm just like when I was talking about the Jacques Demy box set, I believe that this is the only Wong Kar-wai film that exists on its own in the Criterion Collection outside of this box set. Again, I could be wrong. Very well may be wrong, but pretty sure that's the case. And I'm pretty sure this is the only one that is on 4K. So that box set, I think, is what, like 8, 9, maybe 10 films. Don't remember the number off the top of my head. So have that many films on Blu-ray is still worth it with that box set when there's only one that's separate on 4K. Especially if you don't really feel like you need the 4K. I just really love this film and think it's a film that does look great on 4K. So I got the 4K. But anyways, I guess that's all I have to talk about. And I'll see you all next time.